I'm Shahjahan Ayub, the former president of Aitchison College Old Boys Association. I was president for 9 years, and being in ACOBA for the past 5 decades. I joined ACOBA in 1970 after my inter, and then I went to Government College for my graduation. Then I did my law from a University Law College that was just adjacent to Government College. Aitchison has always been a love for me, and I always considered Aitchison to be my next parents. Aitchison was my mother, Aitchison was my father. And what I am today, by the grace of Almighty Allah, is because of my institution. Why I call Aitchison an institution? Because it is not a school, it's an institution. An institution is made by the age. Like we have Ivy universities, Cambridge, Eton, Harrow, and so many other old schools, and I consider Aitchison to be no less than any of these institutions. And I feel that the campus of Aitchison is such a beautiful place to visit. And I still remember that when you enter Aitchison from the main gate, and when you're walking towards the old building, it has a very different impact on your mind. That is only when you see it, and only then you can think how lovely and beautiful this campus is. That is the first love fair to that institution. Every person has an ambition, and I think my main ambition was to bring about something good to this institution, because it has given me so much that it is unbelievable. Anyway, when I joined Aitchison was a different institution. There were hardly 400 to 500 boys in whole of the school. I'm not talking about senior school or prep school or junior school. I'm talking about the whole school. Now it is something like 3,000 or 2,000, something like that. I must pay my gratitude to the most beautiful faculty during our times. We used to have one of the most beautiful, lovely, dedicated teachers. If I start taking them names, and I would love to take their names, I may be able to forget some of them, but I must start from Abdul Aziz Khan. He was one of the greatest educationists and administrator. The way he conducted the administration of Aitchison College was unprecedented. because I have been through so many principals in my lifetime when I was in Aitchison and today also. I would say every principal is a great principal, and I must pay my respects to everyone. During my time after Abdul Khan, we used to have our English headmaster by the name of Mr. R.W. Tykes. A wonderful person, very upright and a beautiful personality. Then we have Mr. Tajuddin. I don't have the words to express myself and tell you how dedicated those people were. Mr. Tajuddin, Mr. Usmani, Mr. Zulfi Hussain Hedri, Ahmad Khan, Azuri Alam, Mr. Lang Lang, I must say, a legend. And I think I was very lucky to be at his funeral. And I was there. I was the president of ACOBA, and I tried my best to give him the best funeral of our lifetime. Then I must say there was another English teacher, Mr. Mullen, Mr. Matthews, and Mr. Muhammad Ahmad Khan, then Riyaz Hussain, a wonderful mathematician and a beautiful person. We used to have with few teachers we were very friendly. With Zulfi Hussain Hedri, he was a gem of a person, and we used to love him. We used to listen to his beautiful stories of Shahnama, Mahabharata, and so many other stories. Then Shaukat Ali Beg, he was our religious teacher, and he also published a book, The Right Path. And we used to have a wonderful time during his period. And we used to, make a plan every time that the Shias and the Sunnis have to have a discussion. And he was the one, friendly discussion. And he always used to say, I don't want to hear all these things. Don't talk about these sectarian sort of arguments. But we were actually wanting to have a fun, Anyway, then I will come back to the most important thing, and those were the traditions. I think in that way, we were very lucky. Nowadays, what I see, because it is not the fault of the administration or the school, it is actually the numbers of the students. They have become so enormous. You can't do about with those traditions anymore. I remember as a child, we used to go to swimming galas. And I remember in those days, the lights used to be all the way from the main gate to the swimming pool. There was only one swimming pool. That was a senior school swimming pool. And because the numbers were so small, and in such a small place, I used to see every parent being seated there. We used to be served with ice cream and so many other tidbits. I mean, we were one family. We were one family. And it was all because, I mean, we were in a very small number. And these things can only happen when you have a limited numbers of boys in the school. Anyway, with passage of time, then we used to have campfires, then social dinners, houses, social dinners. Then another very important thing which we are missing now is the JCC camps and the JCC training. I mean, army people used to come there. They used to train us how to go about the march past. It helped us a lot in the military training also, and in the main march past, which we used to have on a founder day. I mean, that was also because we've been trained in such a way that it was so disciplined, so nicely done, that it looks so beautiful. But anyway, then eventually, as I said, campfire, social dinners, JCC camps, which we are missing now. We don't have all these things. And the most important, again, when Mr. Lang was there, he was a pioneer of this the trek. He used to take us to the mountains, and I would say every student needs to be tough, and that's what public school trains you. And public schools are made for this thing. And Lang, I remember, we used to go to like Kachakuning and so many other passes in Gilgit and Skardu and whatnot. And then, I mean, in that way, we are missing Lang so much. And now, I'm really grateful to Mr. Lang that he trained two people in his lifetime. One was Mr. Chaudhry Ismail, then he took over after Mr. Lang. Then now, eventually, Mr. Shahid Khan, he's doing a great job. Now coming back to myself and my association, it is very pertinent to mention here that ACOBA, when I left Aitchison in 1970 after my inter, ACOBA was not seen there. There was no ACOBA. And I just wanted, that was my mission. I wanted to bring about this old boys association to a higher place. And I started working so hard. What we used to do after our founder day, we used to have a small tea in the Berry Block ground. And after that, few old boys used to gather together And they used to go to the geography room and just start saying, this person is the president, the other is the general secretary, and that was all. And then there was never seen the president or the general secretary. I mean, after 1 year, again, same thing repeated. Then I started working hard. I wanted to bring good people in the association. And to be honest, I really, because nobody wanted to give time to ACOBA. And every time I used to go to my friends, and they would say, ACOBA is nothing. I mean, क्या फायदा अपना वक्त ज़ाया करने का? मतलब है क्या करता है? I said no. Old Boys is the streamline of Aitchison College. We have to make this association strong. Slowly and steadily, by the grace of Almighty, I started collecting good people. I just went to Shahjahan Ayub, Sayyid Zulfikar Bukhari Sahab, Colonel Sayyid Hassan, Mia Afzal Hayat, Sayyid Huriyai Gardezi. And Huriyai Gardezi really helped me a lot. And then, to my good luck, I had a beautiful people to join me. It started from Shahjahan Ayub and Sayyid Colonel Hassan and Mia Afzal Hayat, and then Mr. Javed Zaman was the one I will never forget. From the day one, when I started ACOBA, Javed Zaman was the one who stood by me. And he worked so hard with me that I cannot describe that. I don't have the words to express my feelings for the great Javed, the great Aka, I must say. They were lovely people. They were my mentors, to be honest. I've learned so much from them. Then I and Shahjahan Ayub, one day we sat, and I said we should make it more, lucrative and lively and vibrant. So I had a feeling, the old boys in India, we should touch them, To my luck, there was a person who used to teach in Aitchison. He was a student also, and he used to teach in Aitchison. His name was Aitchison Kashyap. Mr. Kashyap was a wonderful person. He left Aitchison during partition because, as I said, more than 60 to 70% of old boys who belonged to India, they left Aitchison. And there was a big vacuum in Aitchison. Anyway, I happened to talk to Mr. Kashyap, and I invited him to Pakistan. And when he came, we gave him a great dinner. And Mr. Tajuddin was there, Shahjahan Ayub, and Mr. My brother Shahjahan Ayub, and so many others, Mia Munir Manu, and everybody was there. And then we discussed with them, and I told them, I said, why not? We should make a India chapter. That is India ACOBA. And that was a wonderful idea. They said, it's really wonderful. And when we made India chapter, then another gentleman, I will never forget, worked very, very hard to make India chapter. He was General Randhawa, Kripal Singh Randhawa. He was a great, great man. And honestly, he was the one who, again, like Javed Zaman, he was the one who really became my mentor. He worked so hard with me. And then, the greatest achievement, in 1982, I single-handedly made a plan, and we were about 16, if I'm not wrong, I think 16. We got together and we went to India. And they invited us. To our fortune, at that time, most of the old boys were alive in India. And they were all on a big status. Maharaja Patala was there. Then the Chief Minister, Harcharan Singh Barar, he was Chief Minister. Then, on the top, the Governor of Himachal Pradesh, Aminuddin Luharu. He was the Governor of Himachal Pradesh. And then, to our good luck, we were given such a rousing welcome at the airport when we landed there. All the Chief Justices of different high courts who were Aitchisonians, and the Maharajas, and everybody came to receive us at the Delhi airport. And then, at the end of the day, the Prime Minister of India at that time, Indira Gandhi, she invited us to a tea at the Prime Minister's house. And then not only this, we were invited by the Vice President of India, Mr. Hidayatullah. Then we went to Patiala and we were given a great dinner at the palace of Maharaja, and a lot of people came there. And our ambassador, who was also an old Aitchisonian, his name was, I'm forgetting, Ashraf Jahangir Qazi. He was the ambassador. To our good luck, a wonderful diplomat, I must say, and Qazi, and cousin of Qazi Faiz Isa, the Chief Justice of Pakistan. Anyway, so the thing started on, and the ACOBA started flourishing. And to my good luck, Mr. Michael Thompson, when I became the president, Michael Thompson became the principal. And it was such a coincidence. And the very first day, I invited Michael Thompson to our ACOBA meeting, just to have a, talk with him about ACOBA and just to know about Michael also. And I'm glad in that meeting I also called Mr. Sayyid Fakhr Imam, Mr. Nawaz Kiwana Sahab was there, Munir Manu, Javed Zaman Khan, and Sayyid Shaukat Hussain, Mia Afzal Yad. We were all sitting there. And we had a beautiful discussion. And from that day, to be honest, Michael Thompson told me, he said, Shahjahan, I promise you one thing, that for me, old boys and ACOBA is number one. I will do my best, and you should promise me you have to help me to the best, and you should do something about, we should invest in Aitchison College and bring about things which should change the Aitchison. And from that day, to be honest, whatever we had in our kitty, we started from cricket academy, then we scoreboard, which is one of the most beautiful scoreboards. I think you will hardly find in any public school this level of scoreboard. And I'm grateful to the former Prime Minister, Mr. Imran Khan, who was a great friend, very close to me, and Oria Gardezi and myself, we were his class fellows and classmates. And he came to open that scoreboard, and that was a wonderful occasion, I must say. And after that, we just started on. We made rifle range, then we donated again the hospital, right? And then also we gave funds to the Chitral public school. Anyway, this is how things started moving, you know. And Mr. Usman is the president now, and General Secretary is Mr. Umar Qureshi. And then Mr. Jalal Hassan is the treasurer, Qasim Zaman is the additional secretary, and Vice President is Shahzad Sultan Sahab. And then we have a list of executive members, and they are also being really very helpful to this association. The past members and the now recent members have all a great contribution to ACOBA. And today, I remember, we started from a small dinners in the basketball courts with 100, 150 attendants. Now, by the grace of Almighty, we are having the banquets, the people attending more than 800 people. And families, don't forget, the families are there. And so, this is how Aitchison is coming up. Today, the ACOBA office, which is known as the ACOBA Pavilion, we had a very meager amount of money. I and Mr. Javed Zaman went to see Mr. Qureshi, and we said, sir, we don't have any office. So we just, if you kindly help us to give us a small office where we can work. And he jokingly asked me, how much money do you have? I said, sir, we just have about 7 to 8 lakhs of rupees, that's all. What do you expect? In 8 lakhs you can have an office? Like I said, we have only come to you that you have to help us. And he was very, very kind and generous. I mean, he made an ACOBA pavilion for us that at that time costed about 17 to 18 lakhs, what I remember. And I remember Mr. Farooq Laghari and Shahzada Alam Manu and myself and Manzoor Wattu Saab, I think Manzoor Wattu and Jamali Saab was there. I mean, they all got together and opened that ACOBA office. And I'm very proud of that. We have a beautiful place to sit now, and a beautiful conference hall. And Now, I should also say that I'm grateful to the great Sayyid Babar Ali, who is an icon, who is the one who really initiated all these things. We don't get anything from the government. It is all our money, and we are the one who collectively bring about all these things.